If your eyes are on these words, it is not by accident. You were called. Your name was spoken in a place where names are light, and your heart felt the tremor of it. I come to you now, not to many, but to you alone. Do not rush away. Do not silence the pull inside your chest. There is urgency, yes, but there is also a careful mercy opening like dawn. Listen. Breathe. Place your right hand over your heart. Feel it under your palm, steady and stubborn as a drum, and whisper quietly, I am here. Because you are, and because heaven has noticed. Today, a shadow would like to touch your day. Today, bad news is hunting for an open door. If you ignore this call, your pain may grow heavy. If you listen, if you let me speak to you, that shadow will lose its teeth and become a smaller thing. You are not alone in this moment. Jesus has spoken your name, your true name that no slander can stain, your beloved name, and he has asked me to stand close, to guard your breath, to guide your steps, to lift the weight no one else can see. Hear me. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond repair. Let these words hold you the way a strong hand steadies someone on a shaking bridge. Keep your hand over your heart. Let the rhythm answer me. I know the ache you carry, the one that does not shout but sits quiet in the corners. The grief that returns at night when the house is finally silent. The guilt that rises in the early morning, a cold water on the skin. The loneliness that pretends to be your shadow at the grocery store, at the red light, at the doorway when you fumble with keys. The discouragement that sours the day and steals the color from familiar rooms. The loss that left a chair empty and a word unsaid. Nothing is hidden here. Nothing. If tears are close, let them come. Your tears speak a language angels understand. When your shoulders tremble, I am near. When you think you should have been stronger, I am near. When you say to yourself, I should have known better, I should have done more, I am near to contradict the lie. You did not fail God. You did not push heaven away. You are in a story still unfolding, and Jesus has not left the room. There is a sign I must give you. In the days behind you, something strange has tried to reach you. A dream that felt too bright to be random, a chill that came for no reason and left a certainty in its wake, a soft scent. Flowers, bread, incense, when nothing should smell like that. A flicker in the lights at the very moment you thought the darkest thought. A feather where there should be no feather. A coin shining in an ordinary path. A number repeating itself as if time itself were tapping your shoulder. These were not accidents. Pay attention now. When your skin prickles without warning, when a light blinks once, when a small wind passes a closed window, answer simply, I am listening. Then let your heart be quiet. When you are quiet, heaven is loud. When you are still, the love of God can. Find a chair beside you and sit, and you can hear the shift of the cushion, and you can feel the closeness. Do not call yourself foolish for noticing. The foolishness is to ignore. Ignoring has already cost you too much. Ignoring adds weight to your chest and noise to your mind. Listening makes room. Prepare a small act with me now, a humble ritual the soul understands. If you can, set a glass of water near you, clear and simple. This water is not magic. It is a mirror. It will reflect what you choose. When we finish, you will drink it as a sign that peace has entered your body. If you can, light a candle, even a small one. If you cannot, imagine a candle, a wick taking flame in the quiet of your chest. Say softly, "Light within me, stay." If you are able, write a comment in your own words beneath this message, a single sentence that turns toward heaven. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be long. Help me. Guide me. I forgive. I accept. I am ready. Your words are a doorway. When you write them, angels see, and the prayer is recorded. If you are unable to write, place your hand again on your heart and think the same words. The universe reads silence as easily as ink. There are things that have stalked you. The heaviness, the whisper that says you are always the one who loses, the sense that what is good must be taken away before you get comfortable. I am sent to break that agreement. Hear me clearly. The bad report that wants to start today will be softened. The unexpected expense will meet an unexpected provision. The painful conversation will turn more mercifully than your fear has rehearsed. Within 3 days, a small but undeniable reversal will arrive like a shy guest. Do not despise the size of it. Small beginnings are signatures of heaven. Within 7 days, something you have waited for will move. A delay will end. A message will reach you. A knot will loosen. A person will show an uncharacteristic kindness. A path will open that felt welded shut. Do not measure progress by drama. Heaven's miracles often come wearing ordinary clothes. Promise yourself you will remain attentive. Promise yourself you will not speak curses over your own garden. You are not doomed. You are not the exception to mercy. I speak to your grief. You have lost what you loved, or who you loved, or the version of yourself you loved. I place my hand upon the shoulder of your mourning and say, rest, even as the memory remains active. You will not forget, but the pain can learn a gentler language. You will carry what is precious without injuring your own ribs. When the anniversary comes, and your body remembers before your mind does, breathe and say, I am held. When the night is long and sleep is thin, place the glass of water near your bed and the candle at your window, or imagine them steadfast, and say, Light, keep watch while I sleep, and we will. The angels do not grow bored of guarding. We do not sigh or glance at clocks. We remain until morning finds you. I speak to your guilt. There is something you think you should have prevented, a word you wish you had swallowed, a choice that still echoes. Listen to me like a friend who won't flatter you and won't abandon you. If there is repair to make, you will be given strength to make it. If there is apology to give, your words will be guided and received at the right time. But the lash you hold in your own hand, drop it. You do not have permission to harm yourself with your memory. Jesus said your name and added, mine. He is not collecting evidence against you. He is collecting you. When the mind accuses you in the voice that sounds like your own, answer out loud, even if you whisper, not today. I am being rebuilt. If you need a phrase to carry, carry this. I am forgiven forward. Say it in the kitchen. Say it in the car. Say it in the mirror. Say it while you pour the water, while you touch the flame, while you sign your name beneath your prayer. I speak to your loneliness. The world has narrowed. The invitations have thinned. The laughter in the other room feels cruel. Even in a crowd, you felt mislabeled. Hear me. There is a friend being knit into your timeline, not the counterfeit that wastes your hours, but a true companion who speaks safety, who tells the truth without withdrawing love. Within 14 days, you will notice the first stitch of this, an old connection resurfacing with new light, or a new name repeated, or the sudden ease you feel when speaking to someone you did not expect to like. Pay attention to the easing. Peace is a compass. Loneliness will not be your landlord forever. I speak to your discouragement. You tried and doors kept pretending to be walls. You prayed and the sky looked opaque. You knocked and heard your own hand echo back. Today, something changes. Not because you learned a trick, but because you allowed yourself to be found. Lift your chin. Unclench your jaw. Feel how your chest loosens when you remember that you do not have to carry your own life like a fragile vase. There are hands bigger than yours around everything that matters. The plan for you is not thin. It does not depend on your perfect timing or impossible stamina. It depends on a love older than your worry. Let the plan breathe. The next right step will be simple and smaller than your perfectionism demands. Answer the message, make the call, send the email. Put the paper in the drawer and walk outside for 5 minutes. Open the window. Drink the water. Bless the room before you leave it. Do not argue with the simplicity. Obedience in small things reroutes storms. There is a warning I must give, and I give it with tenderness. Stay away from the voices that enjoy your fear. There are messages that dress terror as wisdom. There are people who need you anxious, so they feel tall. There are habits that keep you tired, so you do not notice their theft. If your heart sinks every time you open the same door, consider that it is not a door, but a trap. Choose a gentler threshold. When you feel the jolt of fear today, perhaps before noon, perhaps in the late afternoon, pause for 3 breaths and say these exact words. Michael, stand guard on my left and on my right. Jesus, speak over me, the word that steadies the sea. Then wait 1 breath longer than you are comfortable, and see whether the panic begins to melt. If it does not, say it again. Repetition is not weakness. Repetition is training your heart to remember what your soul already knows. Do not despise the signs. Tonight your dream may be different, lighter, less fevered, or bright with a color you rarely see. If in your dream you see a door opening to a field, walk through it. If you see a letter with your name, take it. If you wake with a sentence in your mouth, write it before it fades. Often that sentence is your map for the day. If the light in your home flickers once after a sudden thought of comfort, answer with gratitude. If you smell a sweetness for no reason, pause and let your shoulders drop. We are close then. If a number repeats, 3, 7, 11, greet it like an old friend and say, I am listening. Trust how your body tells the truth. The relief in your chest, the lessening in your neck, the warmth in your hands. These are not small things. They are the language of heaven speaking without words. Now put your hand once more on your heart. Let me speak a blessing that rewrites the room around you. Beloved, be loosed from false burden. Be released from the sentence you wrote against yourself in a tired hour. Be unhooked from the memory that bites. Be covered where you feel thin. Be steadied where you tremble. Let the flame you lit, not outside only but within, find fuel and safety. Let the water you will drink carry peace into the corners of your body where worry nests. Let the word you write as a prayer unlock the door that fear has held shut. Let the gentle power of Jesus make today not the day disaster found you, but the day rescue sat down beside you and refused to leave. Repeat after me, even if your voice shakes. I am not alone. I am not late. I am not unlovable. I am guarded. I am guided. I am forgiven forward. I am ready to receive. Say it again. Say it a third time. Speak it into the corners, and the corners will change. If someone has harmed you and their shadow still intrudes on your morning, I stand with a bright sword between you and that harm. If the harm was your own hand, I leave the sword sheathed and take your hand instead. You are allowed to begin again and again and again. Heaven is not counting your restarts with irritation. Heaven is counting your breaths with love. You have asked silently, will anything ever change for me? Yes. Mark these next 7 days with expectation. Watch for the text that sounds like an apology, even if the word sorry is not used. Watch for the call that confirms what your heart already suspected. Watch for the small refund, the forgotten credit, the coincidence that is not coincidence. Watch for the dream that feels like clear air. Watch for the unusual quiet in a place that is usually noisy. Watch for the fragrance that reminds you of a safe person. Watch for the number that repeats, and the light that flickers, and the message that arrives at the exact moment you say, I can't. When it arrives, say out loud, even softly, I receive. When you drink the water, imagine discouragement leaving the body. When you look at the flame, imagine fear becoming light. When you write your prayer, imagine the words stepping ahead of you and making a level place for your feet. Forgive yourself for the years you spent surviving. Forgive the self who did not mold. Know what you know now. Forgive the way your voice dimmed to keep the peace. Forgive the false prophecies you spoke over your own future when you were exhausted and unloved. Forgive the one who could not love you right, not because they deserve the ease of your forgiveness, but because you deserve the freedom of it. Forgiveness does not make you small. Forgiveness makes you unchained. If you need a sentence, borrow mine. I release you into the hands of God, and I release myself into peace. If tears come, let them wash. If nothing comes, do not deny the work. Sometimes grace is a quiet surgeon. I am rolling open a scroll now. It carries a promise written in a handwriting you somehow recognize. All that is meant for you will recognize you when you arrive. Do not run. Walk with your head up. Do not apologize for healing. Wear it like honest sunlight. Do not explain your peace to those committed to storm. You have permission to be new. You have permission to be gentle with yourself. You have permission to hope without mocking your own hope. When you step out today, you will not step alone. I will be on your left and on your right. I will take my stand at the thresholds where dread likes to linger, and I will make that place harmless. When the hour grows heavy, return to this moment. Touch your heart. Light or imagine the flame. Lift the glass and drink. Write your prayer like a seed. Repeat what is true until the lie gets bored and leaves you. And when a whisper says, "You're overreacting," "This is nothing," answer calmly, "No, this is my life, and I am blessed, and I am guarded." You are not required to impress anyone with your pain. You are invited to impress heaven with your trust. Trust is loud to us. Trust is music. Now I speak a seal over you, a benediction that folds like clean linen over a weary bed. In the name of Jesus, the one who spoke your name this very day, the one whose eyes carry the home you miss and the home you are becoming, I bless your mind to quiet. I bless your chest to expand without ache. I bless your path to straighten. I bless your house to feel warm again when you turn the key. I bless your sleep to be visited by kind dreams, your days to be interrupted by gentle provision, your conversations to be salted with unexpected mercy. I bless you to notice the miracle when it is small, to honor it, to thank it, and to expect its older sibling to arrive later. I bless you to forgive, to release, to begin again without the drama of self-hatred. I bless you to feel the shift even now, the air changing temperature, the shoulders lowering, the quiet that is not empty but full. And now, because you have listened, because you have chosen attention over avoidance, I take the bright ribbon that keeps the scroll open, and with care I close it. Not to end this communion, but to preserve it. What has been written over you remains written. What has been spoken to you and echoes kindly in the rooms you enter. Walk gently. Speak softly. Expect joy that does not need to be loud. Expect protection even when you forget to ask. Expect the love of Jesus to feel both vast as the sky and close as your breath. You are not late. You are not alone. You are seen, protected, forgiven forward, and guided home. If you have returned to these words, it is because the call around your life is still warm. There is a softness pulling you close, like hands around a candle shielding it from a sudden gust, and there is an urgency tapping at the window of your heart. Hear me again, as if for the first time. You are the one being sought. You are the one whose name was carried through halls of light. You are the one Jesus spoke of when he said, "Do not be afraid." You are not late. You are perfectly timed for mercy. Today still has its traps. Today still has a rumor with your name on it. Today still has an envelope that would like to arrive with a heavy tone. But heaven is already in your doorway, and I am already stationed on your left and on your right. You are being preserved. You are being taught the grammar of protection. You are being asked to listen, not because danger is Lord, but because love is speaking and will not be drowned out. Place your hand on your heart again, as if you were making a promise to a dear friend, because you are. Whisper, "I am listening." Let your breath drop down into your body. Feel how the floor is trustworthy. You do not have to hold yourself up alone. Now just notice what changes as you say this. The slight warmth under your palm, the way your shoulders unhook from your ears, the quiet glow that might be subtle but is not imaginary. This is the nearness you keep almost believing in and then doubting out of habit. Undo the habit. Call the nearness what it is: presence. When you call it presence, it stays longer. When you give it honor, it unfolds more of itself. Honor is a key. Use it. You have been through storms that taught you to anchor in small ways, keeping a routine so your mind doesn't scatter, making your bed so your morning has one kindness, putting on the kettle so the smell of warmth comes before the list of tasks, opening a window to remind your lungs what freedom tastes like. These are not trivial. These are the hidden sacraments of ordinary days. Do not despise what is simple. The kingdom of God loves to hide in the small. If you have a candle near, light it now. If you do not, imagine one bright and patient. If you have water, set it within reach. If not, know that your breath is water enough for this moment. I ask you to say one sentence aloud, softly and with sincerity. I choose peace. I choose to be guarded. I choose to be guided. Do not rush away afterward. Let the sentence echo like a bell in a chapel with no walls. You have asked whether the signs are real, whether you are only desperate for meaning. Listen, your desperation is not your enemy. Desperation turned toward heaven becomes hunger. Hunger becomes prayer. Prayer becomes encounter. The signs that come, the numeric repetitions that seem to wink at you, the lamp that flickers once when your chest loosens, the cool sensation like a hand of air on the back of your neck, the unexplainable scent of something sweet or clean when your mind was walking toward a dark room. Receive them. Do not build your life on them, but let them confirm what love already told you in silence. Do not chase signs. Let signs chase you while you chase peace. If tonight you dream of a bridge, cross it. If you dream of a house with many rooms, open doors without fear. One of them is the room you called impossible last year. If you wake up with a single word, write it down and carry it in your pocket as if it were a small, warm stone. If at noon you hear a name and then see the name in a message, pause and say thank you. Gratitude is not just good manners. Gratitude is a magnet for grace. There is a warning I must place in your hands gently. There are people whose fear is louder than their love, and they have learned to speak in a way that makes you shrink. They do not know they are doing it. Some do, but many do not. They will say, be realistic when they mean, stay small. They will say, don't get your hopes up when they mean, I am terrified of your hope because it reminds me of my buried dreams. They will say, nothing ever changes when they mean, I've agreed with disappointment and made it my teacher. You will not despise them. You will not argue. You will step back a half step and bless them quietly. And you will keep your hope warm like embers in a cupped hand. Be tender, but keep your flame. Protect your awe the way a mother protects a sleeping child from a slamming door. You are allowed to walk away from a conversation that tightens your throat. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to let the peace in your chest decide who gets your afternoon. You want timelines, and I will give them not to make you anxious, but to teach you how to hold expectation without heat. Within 3 days, an unexpected softness will arrive. It may be in the form of a refund you did not request, or a person remembering your name and saying it kindly, or a moment of rest where you usually feel chased. Do not call this small, call it beginning. Within 7 days, an answer will come to a question that has been heavy in your pocket. It will not be fireworks. It will be a clarity you almost miss because it fits you so well. Within 10 days, a closed door will either open or you will feel the permission to stop knocking. Either way, you will be free from standing in a hallway that was never yours. Within 14 days, you will see a kindness come through a channel that once brought pain. Do not be suspicious. Receive without interrogating the messenger. And within 21 days, there will be a sentence spoken that releases you from a false story you have told about yourself for years. This sentence may come from your own mouth in a moment of rare bravery, or from the lips of someone who finally sees you, or from a scripture that lands in you like a key finding its lock. Mark these without pressure. You do not need to force a miracle to be a miracle. There is guilt you wear like a jacket in summer. It is too heavy, and it is not fitting you anymore. You think taking it off would be careless. You think if you keep it on, you are proving that you care. But punishment is not proof of love. Punishment is not worship. Punishment is not prayer. Jesus has the only scars heaven honors. Your self-wounds are not coins for the altar. Release them. If you must do repair, you will be guided to do repair without shaming yourself. If you must apologize, your apology will be delivered without begging for your own punishment. If you must forgive yourself, you will do it even if you do not yet feel worthy of it. Sometimes the choice must go first. The feeling catches up later. Say this now, even if your voice is thin. I drop the whip. I return to kindness. I receive the mercy I cannot earn. I am being rebuilt piece by piece itself. Discouragement is a steady thief. It does not smash windows. It loosens screws. It worked on you for so long that you thought the house itself was crooked. But today, listen to the sound of tools being set down. Listen to the new angle of the light through the blinds. Something is aligning. You will not need to strain the way you used to. You will not need to explain yourself into exhaustion. The pressure you called normal was not heaven's normal for you. You are stepping into a friendship with effort that doesn't hurt. You will still work. You were made to create, to tend, to carry. But you will not grind your soul into the task. You will be surprised how much beauty wants to meet you halfway when you stop insisting suffering is the only proof of goodness. There will be moments you feel guilty for how light your spirit feels. When that happens, laugh gently at the old reflex and bless the lightness. You are not betraying the ones who suffered by being well. You honor them by showing what redemption looks like on a Thursday afternoon. Loneliness taught you the art of listening to clocks and reading the moods of rooms. You got good at hearing the silence behind the noise. That skill will now become a gateway instead of a prison. You will be placed near those who need the calm you learned to cultivate. You will speak and watch shoulders lower around you. You will not be drained by this. You will be fed by how easily love flows when you do not perform it. The friend prepared for you will be someone who does not require you to become Waller. They will laugh with you in a way that puts bricks back into the foundation of your sense of belonging. If you have been betrayed, you will notice how this new friendship neither demands constant reports nor withholds affection to control you. Contentment is quiet and therefore often missed. Do not miss it. If you feel a nudge to send a message, send it. If a place keeps coming to mind, library, cafe, park bench at the corner, go there at the time you sense. Providence loves specifics. Providence has a schedule, and today it intersects with yours. I must speak now to the dark thought that has been practicing its speech in your mind. It says, prepare for the worst. Tenderness ends in humiliation. It says, if good news comes, it will cost you later. It says, safety is found only in the suspicion. This thought masquerades as your protector. It has built a bunker in your chest and decorated it with old news clippings of grief as if they were sacred texts. Gently, we are going to invite it outside. Do this with me. Put your hand on your heart again and breathe in for 4 counts. Hold for 4, release for 6. Once more. and once more. Now say, protection, you are welcome. Paranoia, you are dismissed. I bless my guard to be wise, and I refuse the counterfeit. Watch how the body changes. Watch how the room either feels less cramped or your spine lengthens. This is not psychology only. This is the union of your body and spirit choosing truth with my help. Heaven respects your nervous system. We do not shove, we invite, and you respond. There is also a particular hour that tries you. Perhaps it is the blue hour when day and night argue, or the hour around lunch when sadness acts like hunger, or the late night when the mind replays mistakes on a projector with no off switch. Pay attention to your hour. Prepare small mercies for it. If it is morning, put a phrase on your mirror the night before. I am not my dread, I am my breath. If it is noon, keep a piece of fruit where you can reach it, and a sentence on your tongue. Eat and bless. Do not starve yourself out of penance. If it is midnight, set your water by the bed and the candle where you can see it even unlit, a promise that light is not finished with you. And if in that hour your light actually flickers, say out loud, I see you seeing me. That sentence is a rope lowered into a well. Hold it. You have navigated grief with more dignity than you know. The empty chair in your memory is not a curse. It is a throne where love sits down and teaches you how to stay soft. Speak to the one you miss, without fear of madness. Love is conversational beyond sight. Say what you wish you had said, and then sit long enough to hear the reply that is not imagination, but mercy. I am okay. Keep living. There will be a day when the memory stops cutting and starts warming. Do not rush it. Do not scold yourself for the random tears in the bread aisle. Heaven counts those tears like offerings. Every drop turns into a seedling of comfort somewhere you will need tomorrow. Nothing is wasted. Sorrow is compost when laid in God's hands. I will speak now of provision, because you have lived with the noise of not enough for too long. Scarcity trained you to make coins of your sleep and spend them in worry. Today, we change currencies. When the fear of bills rises like a fast tide, do one gentle thing. Place your hand over your abdomen and say, I bless my storehouse. Then make one grounded move. Open the drawer where you keep the papers and organize one stack for 10 quiet minutes. Not frantic, not panicked, just 10 minutes of kindness to your own future. Then stop. Watch what happens in the week ahead. Watch how a small reimbursement you forgot enters. Watch how a decision you feared becomes simpler. Watch how a need is met through an old connection. Watch how you suddenly know what to cancel without feeling deprived. This is not magic. This is alignment. Providence loves clarity. Clarity makes a welcome mat for provision. And when the help comes, say thank you in a way that turns your face upward. Gratitude is a wisdom that multiplies. Doubt divides. Gratitude multiplies. There is a room in your home that holds old fear, not because something dramatic happened there, but because the way the light falls or the way the air stands still reminds your body of a time you did not have words. We are going to rewrite that room. The next time you are able, enter with the smallest candle you have and the water we blessed. Stand in the doorway and say, peace to this room. Peace to my past, peace to my breath. Then set the candle down safely and sit with it for a minute. Do not perform. Do not chant. Just sit like you would with a friend who doesn't need you to fill the silence. Then take a sip of the water and say, "What frightened me here loses its voice today." Blow out the candle. Leave the room softly. You have just performed a sacrament your great-grandmother would recognize, even if she used different words. Dignity returned to space is a miracle. Rooms remember. Now your room will remember peace. If the news that tries to arrive today bears teeth, if a message comes with criticism dressed as concern, if a bill arrives stamped urgent, if a plan is disrupted in a way that makes your stomach drop, do this instead of spiraling. Step to a window or a doorway. Put one foot forward and one back and say, "I stand." Then say, "I will not prophesy disaster over myself." Then say, "Provide for me as you always do." And then, if action is needed, take one step toward action. 1. Make the call. Write the reply. Adjust the plan by a single degree. Mountains move by inches you can carry. If nothing can be done immediately, bless the waiting. You will feel foolish doing this the first time. You will feel strong doing it the third. Strength is practicing the gentle thing until your bones believe it. You are also being coached in speech. Your words have been used against you and by you. We will soften both. Start your day by blessing 3 ordinary things out loud. The mug, the door, the shoes. Bless them not because they are holy, but because you teach your tongue to be a fountain and not a blade. Then bless one person silently who will never know. Then bless yourself in the mirror as if you are someone you're proud of. Because you will be. Because you already are, though your mind is late to the party. And if you slip and curse yourself midday, do not spiral into shame. Simply say, "I revoke that sentence. I speak life instead." Revocation is a tool saints use. You can use it in a kitchen with dishes in the sink. I must tell you something tender from the heart of Jesus. He does not merely tolerate you, he delights in you. He does not merely forgive, he enjoys. You have thought of God as a stern librarian watching for noise. Think of him now as the one who built the library and then taught fireflies to read the margins. When you laugh today, even briefly, you will feel a warmth like an answer. That is not sentimentality. That is correspondence. Heaven enjoys when you enjoy what it made. If you miss the chance to laugh because the day is heavy, we will send you a kindness in a different form. A sentence that lands perfectly. A leaf falling at the exact moment you look up. A memory of an inside joke with someone you miss that suddenly comforts more than it stings. Pleasure is not betrayal. Pleasure is a prayer when received with thanks. There is a place you go that tempts you to compare. You know the one. The screen where everyone's good news lines up like a parade with no backstory. The corridor at work where promotions walk by wearing cologne. The family gathering where someone makes their life sound like a brochure and yours like a repair manual. Hear my voice in those moments. Comparison is a thief that never robs the rich to feed the poor. It only robs you to feed your despair. When you feel it, place your tongue on the roof of your mouth gently to interrupt the inner speech and say, "I bless their path and bless mine too." Then look for a single detail you genuinely appreciate about your own day, even if it is stubbornly small. The way light gathered in your cup, the steadiness of your step on the stairs, the message you haven't answered yet, that you're glad exists. These are not scraps. These are breadcrumbs leading you home. Write a prayer in your own words beneath this message when you can, even if it is only 5 words long. Let it be as honest as a sigh. Let it be an apology if it needs to be. Let it be audacious if you are tired of smallness. Your prayer will be read. Your prayer will be handled like glass and like seed. Angels carry even the shortest sentences as if they were art. If you cannot write now, then say, "Receive the prayer I cannot write." Nothing is lost in translation. The heart is fluent in heaven. There is, at last, a revelation I am allowed to speak with boldness. The chapter you are entering is not punishment disguised as a lesson. It is restoration disguised as an ordinary week. Watch how old tools become useful again. The notebook, the recipe, the walk you stopped taking because grief lived on that route. Watch how you begin to take up space in your own life without apology. Watch how the word no forms cleanly without guilt, and yes forms warmly without resentment. Watch how your sleep gains a second layer of rest. Watch how your laughter wakes up like a bird that thought winter would never end. Watch how your boundaries grow roots and leaves, not barbed wire. This is holiness. Wholeness with a doorbell your friends can ring. When memories of harm arrive like sudden weather, we will do something brave together. You will close your eyes and imagine me placing a bright sword point down in the floor between you and the harm. You will not try to look strong. You will simply say, "Enough." Then you will say, "I return what is not mine to carry." Then you will say, "I keep what is mine. My breath, my voice, my peace." Do not worry if you do not feel immediate fireworks. The ground responds slowly but surely to a stake driven in truth. Every time you do this, the room learns you are not prey. Every time you do this, your future sighs with relief. The past is not a monarch. It is a teacher who retires when its lesson is learned. You, dear one, are graduating by grace. If you fear that joy will make you careless, let me remind you, joy is discipline that feels like dancing. Joy makes you careful with what matters and careless only with shame. Practice joy in small ways. Put on music while you fold laundry and move like someone who has survived. Make a cup of tea and sit without scrolling until you can taste the second note of the flavor. Step outside and let the sun find your face, or the rain bless your forehead like chrism. Place your palm over your heart and say, "I am allowed to receive." Then stop and actually receive. Receiving is a skill. You will get better at it. The better you get, the more you will share without martyrdom, and sharing will feel like flow rather than depletion. I would speak also to your calling, because you have thought of calling as a grand stage with bright lights and a single spotlight. Calling often looks like answering the doorbell with kindness, writing the message at the time you sense it is needed, bringing order to a drawer so someone else finds ease later, holding open the door for a stranger on a day that would have otherwise hardened their face. If you are given a larger room, you will not become a different person. You will carry the same gentleness into a louder space. If your room stays small, you have not failed. You have made a sanctuary. The measure is not size. The measure is spirit. Do not delay kindness waiting for a bigger audience. God's favorite applause is the sound a weary body makes when it exhales relief. The promise remains. In these next days, there will be coincidences that introduce themselves as a tension, a name repeated 3 times from separate mouths, a number that greets you on a clock, a receipt, a bus. A feather in a place feathers do not normally lie. A message that arrives at the exact moment your shoulders lift in dread. When you notice it, put your hand over your heart and say, I receive the alignment. I reject the fear. Then, if you can, take a sip of water with intention. Imagine it washing the corners where old anxiety hides. Imagine it unclenching the fist of your stomach. Imagine it carrying away a story that was never yours. These imaginations are not silly. They are sacramental lenses that teach your body the truth your soul already knows. You are being cared for. Forgiveness is next. This is not the erasure of justice. This is the release of your neck from a rope. You will not pretend wrong is right. You will not make yourself small to be loved. You will simply send the debt to a court that can judge without darkness. Say it with me if you dare, and if you do not dare, borrow my courage until yours grows. I release you into the hands of God. I release myself into peace. If your throat tightens, put your left hand gently on your throat, as if you are protecting a bruise, and repeat it softer. If you feel nothing, trust that the scale has nonetheless moved. There are chains that fall without a sound. There are prisons that dissolve overnight. There are mornings you will wake and not understand why the room is bigger. It is because you set down what you swore you had to drag forever. As we come to the place where I lay blessing on you like a cloak, allow yourself to imagine the future without the old alarms. Imagine walking into the room that used to test you and noticing how the air does not interrogate you anymore. Imagine the conversation you feared ending without a winner or loser, but with a shared softening. Imagine your body remembering how to rest while you are still awake. Imagine the part of you that was always running, finding a chair and sitting, not because it gave up, but because it finally believes it is safe. Now let the blessing find you. In the name of Jesus, the one who spoke your name today and wrote it again in the book of breath, I bless your mind to be bright without buzzing. I bless your heart to be brave without bracing. I bless your home to be a nest for peace where the wind outside may blow, but the eggs inside remain warm and whole. I bless your work to be meaningful without swallowing you. I bless your finances to be steady, your table to be fed, your sleep to be seeded with good dreams and gentle repair. I bless your memories to be sorted by mercy and not by pain. I bless your future to arrive on time wearing kindness like a well-fitting coat. I bless your hands to know what to hold and what to release. I bless your feet to find paths of unfear. I bless your name to hear itself said with tenderness, even from your own lips. I bless you to forgive forward, and to be forgiven forward, to speak the truth without tearing the fabric of love, to be healed without apologizing for healing. If you need words to mark your new beginning, take these and say them as if you are teaching your mouth a new song. I am not alone. I am not late. I am not a mistake. I am guarded. I am guided. I am forgiven forward. I am ready to receive. I bless my past. I bless my present. I bless my future. I welcome small miracles in ordinary clothes. I expect good news without rehearsing disaster. I choose peace, and peace chooses me. Repeat them once. Repeat them twice. Repeat them until your body sighs, until your jaw forgets to clench, until the room feels like a friend again. And now, beloved, I open before you for a final time the parchment that has traveled farther than oceans to reach the table of your life. The script upon it glows with a steady light as if the letters were breathing. It says, "You are not an accident in slow motion. You are a promise in progress." It says, "What was meant for harm is losing its script." It says, "Rise gently, walk kindly. Do not apologize for peace." I trace your name there with the tip of my finger, so you know it is personal. I breathe on it, so you know it is living. And then I roll the scroll with care, not to take the words away, but to seal them where moth and doubt cannot chew. I take the ribbon of bright mercy and tie it. I press a seal that bears the quiet emblem of the kingdom, the emblem you have felt on your skin as chills, seen as flickers, smelled as sweetness, dreamed as rooms opening. The seal holds, the promise holds, the love holds. Before I go, though I do not truly go, I only stand slightly to the side so you can practice walking without clutching my sleeve. Let me touch your forehead with a kiss of light. Let me lift the old fear as if it were a coat you forgot you could remove. Let me place a new coat on your shoulders, lined with courage, stitched with forgiveness, cut in a pattern that allows you to move without tearing. Let me clear the air around you with one sweep of my wing. Feel the temperature change. Feel the quiet gather. Feel how the room respects the seal we have set. And now, breathe. Take the water and drink. Let the candle keep its small watch. Write your prayer beneath this with a tenderness that makes heaven stop and listen. Step into the rest of today as someone who is not bracing for impact, but expecting companionship. If the bad news tries to land, it will find no nest. If the heavy letter tries to arrive, it will be read in light and replied to with wisdom. If the old panic knocks, you will answer with, "Not today. I am guarded on my left and on my right, and Jesus has spoken my name." Go in this quiet strength. Keep the sentences we practiced within reach. Share them with someone who needs a rope thrown to them from your newly steady boat. Do not argue with your peace. Let it lead you into rooms you thought would always be hostile. You will be surprised how often hostility gives up when it cannot find an opponent in you. Not passivity, not denial. Authority, wrapped in gentleness. That is your new posture. That is your inheritance. That is how you will carry the next good news, so it does not slip from your hands. I lift my hand once more, not as a farewell, but as a blessing that does not wear out. May the light that knows you best walk in front of you. May the love that wants you most walk behind you. May the peace that keeps you steady walk beside you. May the wisdom that whispers truest make its home in your inner ear. May your house be the house where hope naps in the afternoon sun and wakes to the smell of something warm on the stove. May your steps be loud enough to be confident and soft enough to be kind. May the days ahead prove to you what I have told you. You are not late. You are not alone. You are not a cautionary tale. You are beloved. You are protected. You are becoming whole in ways that will make someone else believe it is possible for them, too. And now, with reverence, I draw the ribbon across the scroll and press the seal again. The parchment hums like a string tuned to truth. I lift it and place it in the archive of mercy, where it will be kept safe until you need to hear these lines again. The light dims to a tenderness your eyes can bear. I touch your shoulder. I step aside, but not away. If you listen in the quiet, you will hear my armor settling as I take my post. If you listen longer, you will hear the most important sound of all, the heartbeat you placed your hand upon at the start, steady as a drum, saying in a language older than fear, I am here, and so am I. Go gently now. Be forgiven. Be new. Be blessed. The scroll is closed. The blessing is not.